Part of the area calculator, we're going to need to have values that are going to be changed by our slider. These values in turn will be used for the width and the height of the rectangle. So to start with, above the body, in what I refer to as the brain of the application, I'm going to put @state var, var meaning variable, and variable means to change. Width is going to be a CG float, which equals 200. So again, variable means to change. We can change the value of the width of the rectangle. So I can replace this immediately with width, which you can see is a CG float. A CG float is a core graphics float. We're using a core graphics float because we're working with a picture, and a picture is a graphic. A float is a decimal number. We'll make a second one of these. @state var height is going to be a CG float, which equals 100. Again, we can change our height now to the variable height. That will place this value into the frame of the rectangle. So nothing's changed at the moment, but if we change the rectangle to a height of 300, we now have a higher or taller rectangle that we can see on the screen. So our next step is now letting the slider change the value of the width and the height. So rather than having a constant number that doesn't change, we use our variable number, which will change. When we are reading a value, we just simply type width. However, when we're having a slider change the value, $width, to tell the slider that it's allowed to change the value. $height will ensure that the height can now be changed. Since we have now a 1 to 200 range, we should change the height back to 200 to keep it sitting within that range that's allowed by the slider. We'll just test this out by hitting play on our simulator. And now as I move the value of the slider, the value of the width is also changing, all the way down to what is 1 pixel for the width. Same for the height. That's reducing down to 1 pixel as a maximum value. So now it's a consideration on how high can we make these values. I think we can stretch it to 300. You'll see immediately that the slider has dropped down to about 2/3. That's 200 out of the possible 300.